Drop the gems.
Hey, Gems. Listen, I told y'all I was coming back at 11:30, but when I set up the live, it was for 11:45 tonight, and y'all know I will be in my 99th dream. But we're up here. We're going to be talking about important stuff that affects you and me and everybody. And baby, they are rolling out some new things. If you didn't know, they're going to be doing a lot of YouTube changes, like looking for bots, looking for people who got all these subscribers that went to the African Food Bank and bought them bots and put them up on their page. Also, if you don't show your beautiful face, you will not get paid. That means no face, no case. Everybody who is an avatar won't be getting paid now unless they show some face. And they ain't talking about no stick up face up there. They want to see you physically on your page, okay? Then Cash App. For everybody who gives out Cash App, y'all better know the rules now. I done told y'all last year that you only allowed to give out an equivalent of $600. Like to your children, like my daughter's away, and I do give her money. But baby, they're talking about now that they're going to do a Cash App investigation. Cash App investigation. So let me tell y'all what it is, honey.
There is a new federal indictment for every Cash App user who has not been paying their taxes. So for all of y'all running it up on Cash App, just cash at me. Oh, it's cool. Do you have Cash App? Y'all might want to call the IRS and make sure you don't owe any money. Get your ducks in a row. Organize. Go through your transactions. Make sure you paid the correct amount. Now, this is mainly for the personal accounts. If you have a business account, they take it out for you. Everything's done correctly. This is for the personal account Cash Apps. Now, this ties into what I was saying about receiving money from inmates, being out here hustling, doing all that different stuff with the Cash Apps. Now, it's going to get serious. It's a long list. They're going to get through all these people. Like, you need to have your ducks in a row and stop playing. For a long time, y'all little scammers been scamming with these Cash Apps. Oh, I could flip your money. There is a new federal indictment for
baby
being out here.
Baby. Let me give you an example. Like you got a GoFundMe and you put the money to Cash App somebody, baby, and they got an incentive for turning people in. They got an incentive. So y'all better watch those Cash Apps because they coming for the money, not for the deficit, for your money, okay? So I also want to tell y'all that if y'all are interested in these topics that we're talking about things seriously, go over to Tell the People. Okay, Sunny is a content creator who tells you everything political, keeps you up with it. Her content allows you to think about what's going on and research it for yourself. Now, she usually goes up there with her husband, W1. She goes up there with her husband, W1, and they tell the people. So y'all go over there because she's the one that gave me the title for my show. And, she schools me, baby. Sometimes I go over there and I'm just sleep. And she say something and I wake right up. So y'all go see Tell the People. Y'all please go visit Lily Young. Lily Young be getting a lot of hate from them Trump supporters, and she goes right through it to let our people know what's going on because something serious is about to go on. For I had put in my title, I wanted y'all to know about slavery, and this is real. This is no scare factor. This is no, I'm trying to scare you. This is what people who don't agree with this mess is trying to share with us and let us know what is going on. It is dead serious about the slavery. So take a listen to this, y'all, and share this video with your family members and stuff.
Hey, you didn't hear
Wait a minute.
about it and calling it out.
Oh, you heard that one correctly, so let's get the word out.
Hey, you didn't hear from me, but that's slavery. Donnie just announced that he wants to bring back slavery, and not enough people are talking about it and calling it out.
Oh, you heard that one correctly, so let's get the word out. Like, repost, comment as always, and follow along for more. Perhaps maybe one of the most concerning parts is that people aren't calling it out for what it is, but in the mainstream media, they're referring to it as owner responsibility. That's right. While he was on his visit to Alligator Alcatraz and everyone was horrified and distracted by the existence of Alligator Alcatraz, he decided to slip in some very disturbing comments about undocumented workers at farms and hotels and his future plans for them. So obviously the Orange Man has become quickly aware that his plans with ICE, right, do upset a very large part of some of his core original supporters, which would be farmers, who do largely rely on undocumented workers. So on his trip, he said, we're going to have a system of signing them up so they don't have to go. They can be here legally, pay taxes and everything, because without these people, you're not going to be able to run your farm. And if you had just left it at that, like, okay, yeah, it sounds like a pathway to citizenship, right? Every developed country has to have one of those. It's completely logical and fair. But unfortunately, he kept speaking. You knew that was too good to be true. He said the farmers can be responsible for the people. They're not going to have citizenship, but they will be working. It'll be like a temporary pass that people pay taxes for, where the farmers can have control over them. A few big issues with that. First and foremost, I don't know if you've ever taken a second grade history class, but that's just slavery in another form. And secondly, this is probably more first grade history, but do we not remember no taxation without representation? Where did that go? But it is concerning to me that everyone is willingly just referring to this as owner responsibility and not what it actually is.
Hey, you didn't hear from me, but that's slavery. Donnie.
That's slavery. Because back in the day, back way before our time, slave owners own slaves. Now, many of you have education. Many of you have college degrees. Many of you have government jobs. Many of you are teachers, bus drivers, do domestic work. And now the Supreme Court has given Donnie permission to fire more people. Let me just ask, do you think that you can be a slave? Do you think that you gonna go work out on somebody's field? I went to college not to do labor. I went to college to do a job where my hands remain soft. But they are trying to bring back slavery slowly but surely. But you got to decide what is important to do. Listen, alley-oop. Pay your rent, light, gas, and water. If them credit cards is going to put you in a bind, don't pay that. I'm being serious. What they going to do? So I'm going to tell you a way that they have been picking up people that are not just undocumented, but Black and all that. You go for your traffic tickets, they'll say, oh, he is from Haiti. And you ain't never been to Haiti. But they're going to start getting Black folk. Now, we had an interview of a young man who is in Alligator Alcatraz. And he says they get $1 a day. They have to work 5 days before they can get a phone call. They said the bugs in there are big, like elephants. That's how he described it. He said that they don't get food. They don't get to take a bath. What is going on where we would allow ourselves to be put in cages? We can't do that. We can't do that. You want to investigate our YouTube. You want to investigate our Cash Apps. You want to investigate our bank accounts. Now, I got to tell you, they saying that you have more than $10,000 in your bank account. Hello, Aquarius. Hey, Sarge. Hey, Simply Susie. They saying that you got a lot of money in your bank account. They going to start investigating. Now, I know I got more than $10,000, honestly, in my day-to-day bank account. More than that. And you want to investigate me using my money? What in the John Brown ham sandwich is going on? So let me show y'all something about the banks. About the banks are starting not to be safe. And people know it, and they're not happy. Hold on. They're not happy about what's going on. And let me see if I can't find that story right away. Let me tell you about the cloud seeding. Many of you may not know about cloud seeding. They are flooding out Texas, in my opinion, on purpose. Now they went to New Mexico, and guess what happened? In less than 30 minutes, they had 20 feet of water, and people's homes were going down there. Let me just show you about the cloud seeding first in Texas.
They've admitted it. Cloud seeding happened right before the deadly floods in Texas. And not just traditional cloud seeding, we're talking about a new kind of experimental method using drones and electrically charged water mist. The company behind it is called Rainmaker. Their own CEO said that they seeded clouds over 1,200 square miles of Texas just days before the floods. The project was even approved by NOAA. So this isn't conspiracy, it is confirmed. Now, here's the official story. Meteorologists say that the clouds they seeded had dissipated before the storm moved in. They insist that cloud seeding cannot cause extreme weather events like this. At most, they say it might increase rainfall by 10%. That's their line. But here's where I have questions, and you should too. This is brand new technology. It hasn't been tested long term. We don't fully understand the ripple effects of seeding cloud after cloud across a huge area, especially when 6 different weather modification programs are running in the same state at the same time. Sure, they say they can track radar and prove what clouds they seeded, but can they really track where all that moisture goes? Can they predict what happens when it collides with tropical air? Because what we do know is this. Texas just got hit with a once-in-a-generation flood, and it came after an artificial attempt to make rain. Playing God with the weather might not seem like a big deal until lives are lost. How many unintended consequences?
And I think they're taking a second look because a billionaire lost his 2 children at Cloud Mystic that only allows Caucasian children to attend. They can't take their phones there. The counselors can't have their phones there. So they weren't alerted. And they're still missing so many people. Hi, dearie. Let me see. Now, cloud seeding. They're starting to do this in Maryland. I like to see how that go, and I'm going to show you proof. Okay, but listen to this. New Mexico. And they're saying they never had that much water ever in New Mexico. What is going on? Something's going on. They need land. And they're speaking in Arizona and Texas about building new concentration camps. So if you're getting everybody out of the country, who's going to go to these camps? Who's going to go to these camps? Us? Because I'm going to show you what just has happened.
I can't believe I'm actually reporting on this. We have some breaking news. The Supreme Court just gave President Trump the green light to fire tens of thousands of federal workers and to restructure the government as he sees fit. In a 6-3 decision, the court sided with Trump's push to expand presidential power, allowing him to move forward with what he calls Schedule F, a plan to make government employees easier to fire and replace. Trump says this will drain the swamp, but critics warn it could politicize the federal government and undermine critical services like Social Security, Medicare, and even veterans care. It could also mean the end of nonpartisan public service, turning government jobs into loyalty positions dependent on politics. The ruling hands Trump one of his biggest victories yet in his plan to centralize power in the White House. And the consequences, oh my God, the consequences could affect every single American who relies on federal service. I'm going to do a YouTube deep dive on this because there's so much here that needs to be talked about. So make sure you follow me on my YouTube channel because today...
Do you know in that big, beautiful bill, it says that the president can become king. 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 Remember he said no more elections? This is the plan. And in Miami, they're starting the loyalist. They're taking away the election. That's supposed to be November, saying we're not giving up our seats. And allegedly, it's saying that the governor down there and stole $10 million and put it in his wife's charity. And nobody's thinking about that, but nobody is looking at the fact that our debt for America has not been touched. It has not minimized. Our debt is going up trillions over trillions, top of trillions, top of trillions. So what money will you have to live on? They said that the United States will collapse. Not just me, a black woman, the white
I'm not a panicky, alarmist type person, and I don't do conspiracy theories. But history tells us this country is on the verge of collapse. I will quickly give you the 6 things that lead to the collapse of an empire.
6 things.
In this case, the United States. Ray Dalio studied the rise and fall of empires going back 500 years, and every time the collapse was followed by the same 6 phases. Phase 1 was a new order rising, strong leadership, solid education, innovation, unity. Yeah, we had that. Post-World War II, when we actually built stuff and invested in people. Phase 2 was peace and prosperity. Productivity booms, the economy grows, people trust in institutions. Well, we had that. The middle class was strong, unions had power, and the government wasn't a fucking punchline. Phase 3 is massive debt and wealth gaps. The rich get richer, and the poor get tax advice like stop buying coffee. Well, we're there, because the top 1% own more wealth than the entire middle class combined. Phase 4, internal conflict and political polarization. Trust erodes, people stop believing in the system. Well, we have one party destroying the country and the others watching. Nobody's solving shit. Phase 5 is the loss of reserve currency status and global power. Dalio said this stage includes excessive debt creation, weakening productivity, and rising internal conflict. Debt? We're at 36 trillion and climbing. We're adding a trillion every 100 days. Productivity has slowed drastically. Internal conflict? Well, amongst a million other things, 58% of Republicans still think the 2020 election was stolen. Clearly, we're deep in phase 5. Phase 6 is collapse, revolt, or radical reset. Dalio said this phase usually brings civil wars, revolutions, or a major restructuring of the system. Now look around. We've had an insurrection attempt, record gun violence, massive protests, jobs plummeting, the military deployed in Los Angeles, election denial, alligator Alcatraz, and even the Supreme Court giving Trump a green light to pretty much do whatever he wants unimpeded. We're not fully there yet, but there are cracks. I like to think I'm a realistic optimist, but since we've already hit 5 phases and we're teetering on 6, I think our only chance at righting the ship is in the midterms. So we better get loud and stay loud, because this MAGA experiment has done nothing but fast track us to be another example in Ray Dalio's book. I'm not a panicky...
And I'm going to tell you something. You will see and you will look around the superiority of how those people feel against us. It's getting real. And they're identifying, hey, Pretty Brown Eyes Tanya, Gail at Night, BK Lakeisha. It's getting serious out here. I want to tell you what they're about to do with SNAP benefits for the lower income, which is going to hurt. But What do you think that's going to happen when they pull SNAP from families? SNAP goes down, crimes go up. Here it go.
So thanks to the big, beautiful bill, in order for a parent to qualify for SNAP benefits for their child, they have to not have internet access in their home. Because if you can afford to have internet, then you can afford to feed your child without government assistance. But the school requires them to have internet to do their homework, to do their schoolwork. So tell me how this is supposed to work. You have two options. Send your child to school hungry and have internet access so they can complete their schoolwork, but they're so hungry that their brain doesn't work anymore and they're not able to do the schoolwork anyway. Or option two, you don't have internet access in your house and you're able to get SNAP benefits and feed your child and send them to school with a full belly. But since they don't have internet, they're not able to access all the technology and the curriculum that all their other peers have. So they fail their classes, but at least they're not starving. They don't even have to pretend like they care about these kids anymore, y'all. Do you see now how this is about stripping away access to educational opportunities from poor people? This has always been about stripping away educational opportunities and support from our most underprivileged children. That's their message.
They don't send us to school to learn no way. They send you to school to learn how to be on schedule, to get up, go to school, come back home, do your homework, work if you can. Then when you get grown, they send you to work. They make sure you clock in. They make sure you have lunch. They make sure you clock out. They make sure you go home. Then you go home and fiddle around a little bit. Then you have to get back up the next day and do the same thing. They never sent us to school for education, because then they start learning is that we were sucking in what they were teaching, and we learned how to have our own businesses. Thank you, Miss Nita. Hey, Kim. To have our own business. We're working for ourselves, but I'm going to tell you something. We are stronger together because we need to educate on what's happening. You got people that are criminals that are now ICE agents. Anybody who try to educate and motivate, that's not good for the system. You got to let us feel down, like we have nowhere to turn to, nothing else to do, just give up, but I'm not giving up. They're trying to cut off our communication. They don't want us to talk to each other. So sooner or later, the internet will be gone anyway, or it'll be so high that you'll say, that's a luxury, I got to eat. I want y'all to know, listen to this.
Let me tell you how this is going to work. We're going to be in a situation where once your checking account reaches a threshold of $10,000 worth of activity, then all of your information is going to start going to the IRS. To put that in perspective, the average family's checking account activity is about $61,000. So that's virtually everybody.
A year.
So it's going to go to the IRS. They're going to hire 87,000 new agents. Part of those agents are going to be looking at that information, again, at a cost of $80 billion. At that point, if they see something that they don't like, they're going to start sending you a threatening letter. This is happening now. Let me tell you how this is going to work.
Okay, just imagine that. I make more than $61,000 a year. You mean to tell me when my paychecks go in and I'm clocking this money, I done already paid you taxes already. But you want me to pay more taxes because I have this money in my bank account. Y'all, it's getting to get crazy out here. And we need to pay attention to our surroundings because nobody is safe. Not even white people. If you are low income, you're not safe. You're in the way. You got people scamming. We're not paying attention to the Southern Ocean current. Why do you think all these sharks are coming to shore? The ocean is changing. Okay.
See, I don't think y'all understand what's going on. All this flooding and everything are precursors. You need to look up on Google the doomsday flood map. And hopefully you're not in any of the regions that's going to get put underwater. Because the southern current has reversed. It has begun. And when I say that it has begun, meaning that what the doomsday map show is going to happen. The areas that's flooding are not going to unflood. It's going to go get worse in the areas because once that water reverses and causes the sea level to rise, which I'm going to show you in the slides, the different effects that the reversal of the southern region current has on the United States and everywhere else. It's like water's going to rise. I don't know how far the water's going to rise, but if we're going off the doomsday map, which like they always say, this is only for educational purposes. Fine in educational purposes, but if they write about that, I'm in a perfect place. I'm in the safe spot. I'm in Arkansas, but half Arkansas with the Mississippi River's gonna be flooded out. So from Little Rock all the way down to Texarkana. So if you're in any of them zones, you need to get that out. We'll have a good expo. You even in can it survive the debris. So nonetheless, pay attention to what's going on. None of this stuff is coincidence. I don't know if any of that's true about Anunnaki been around, but they did say the weather's been worse before they left. And the reversal of the river of the current down there in the southern region is a major player in what's going to come in these next few days.
Listen, they are trying to get that land down there. You don't hear all these people in Texas complaining, man, we lost our stock, we lost our cows, we lost our farms, because they are getting paid for letting this happen. They have already prepared for this. It is a hidden agenda that is coming to fruition, but we don't believe that because, let me tell you something. That real ID, why would they tell me to go get a new driver's license when I had a perfect driver's license? And now I can't drive. I can't be on a plane without a real ID. Let me tell you why they want you to have that real ID. Because that real ID identifies that I am a United States citizen. So if you are from Mexico, Colombia, Saudi Arabia, you can't get a real ID because they're asking for your birth certificate or an American passport to get your real ID. Now, if I would know what I know now, I would have never got a real ID. Never. And I'm going to tell you why. Here it go.
Guys, check this out.
So there are about 110 million Americans who have not chosen to do the real ID, and all 110 of them and everybody else should choose never to do the real ID. If you already have one, if you've got a gold star on, go and get a standardized driver's license. If you're afraid of flying, go get your passport. But do not take the real ID, because the whole idea here, the state of Pennsylvania asked Trump to shut down this program. Yep. They call it a usurpation of states' rights. Yep. The federal government has taken over driving and identification over the entire country. And they're going to take all of your primary identification documents and keep them for themselves. You're going to have to give them your social security number, your birth certificate, and your marriage certificate, and they will hold them. They've never had them before. You are essentially recertifying yourself as an American, and then they want to put this and digitize it, put it on your phone, and be able to shut down your access anytime you do something they don't like. This is not a simple ID card, and this is probably going to move into the global UN identification system that the UN wants to create for the entire world.
This is a setup. Now, I believe in God. I'm going to tell you, I'm not going to lie. I'm going to be going home with the Father, Son, and the Holy Spirit, or somebody come in here and try to take over my house right now. Because I'm going to take some of them with me. Let me let Shauna up here, because Shauna told me that they came into the Asian neighborhood and the Asians were fighting back. Like, you ain't coming up in here. Shauna, hit that link. We got to realize that things are happening and you have to get prepared. And I want to be able to tell you some things to get prepared. I know that this is what I wanted to teach on my new page, your guide to revocable trust. But they're trying to take everything we got. I dropped the link for you, Shauna. Yeah, it's getting horrible. And we got to be able to work through this without any stress. We can't get no damn distractions. I can't be a slave in Florida residents. July 1st, they got 100 new laws. I'm sure people ain't checked it out, but listen to this until Shauna. Here I come. Give me a second. Okay, she said.
If we all go to the bank tomorrow, everybody on Earth, or let's just say everybody in California or Las Vegas, everybody go to the bank tomorrow, pull out your money. Guess what happens? Crash, because they don't have the money. 3 to 5% of actual currency is physical. The rest of it is just ones and zeros. Thanks to Obama, he signed something called the Dodd-Frank Act. So what does the Dodd-Frank Act do? You take on the burden of the bank when you deposit the money, because what? Now you're an unsecured creditor. That's what the Dodd-Frank Act does. Next time the banks fail, it's not going to be a bail-in, or it's not going to be a bail-out, it's going to be a bail-in. We got to fund them out. They're going to take the money out of your account. But that's a possibility. That's already happened in Greece before. We've seen these things happen in other countries, and people think, there's no way it can be a bail-in. Well, yeah, it's already happened in other parts of the world that went belly up. Signature Bank, Silicon Valley, these are massive banks. And they're failing? Are we trusting these people with our money? You guys don't think this is going to happen? Definitely happening. Chase bailed them out, right? Yeah. If you remember, even with Washington Mutual, remember them? They cease to exist now. So these banks are not so safe. If we all go to the bank tomorrow, everybody on Earth.
Listen, me, myself, I'm thinking if I spread my money all around, all over different banks, I know what I got and what. And then I go there and say, I need 9,999. They'll tell me, I'm sorry, we can't give it to you today. They'll tell you now in some banks that you have to request that money up front. But if you get 10,000, what does it do? Trigger the IRS. Hey, Shauna.
Hey, good morning, good morning, good morning.
Y'all,
I'm
this
late
is
and I'm
talking
sorry.
with Shauna. This is talking shit with Shauna. So I want her to tell you about her page. I want y'all to hear her voice get mesmerized because it is so sexy. And I want you to tell us about that Asian persuasion.
Well, good morning, everybody. First of all, I'm talking shit with Shauna. I do not know why I was having a hard time connecting. I don't know what's going on with my StreamYard. But anyway, I on my channel, I do different types of content. I thankfully Marcella has invited me to review Love and Marriage Huntsville with her, so I'm going to be doing that. But
Mhm.
currently on my channel, I am reviewing 1,000 Pound Roommates. Um, I talk about a little bit of everything on my channel because I don't want to get boxed into one thing. I don't necessarily have a niche. We're gonna talk about everything under the sun because that's just what I'm into. Um, the things that are going on in California right now, oh my God, it is insane out here. They
Mhm.
are pulling people off of the streets still. I don't care what you have seen. And I know a lot of this looks like political theater, but they are really, really messing with people. And it's crazy. And now the Asian people are actually starting to feel it because they're starting to be affected as well. They're starting to invade nail shops. It's starting to become a situation where nobody feels safe. And I think they're testing how they're attacking people in LA so that they can spread this across the country. It's starting here, but it's not going to end here. It's going everywhere. I wish I could see the chat because I don't know what y'all saying. Let me see. Let me see. I don't want to be just talking and people are saying stuff to me and I don't see it. There we go. And yes, he is playing with the internet. He's trying to make it where he determines everything that you get to see. Like they've always messed with the news. They've always, made the decisions as to what's shown on local news. Like I'm in California and I may not see the things that are going on in Tennessee or the things that are going on in DC or whatever. If we don't continue to communicate with each other, we won't know what's going on because they're literally taking away your ability to find out information. Like you can't go, even when you go look things up online, it's like certain things just you don't see it. When the Haitian people fought back against ICE, they tried to scrub all those videos. The only reason why we actually were able to see what ended up happening to those ICE agents and the way that the Haitian people fought back is because people showed their personal videos. They're literally modifying what you can see and how you can see it. They're trying to corner us all off. So you will only know what's happening in your little corner of the world because they're doing everything they can to shut everything down. Yeah, they control the media. They absolutely control the media, which is why social media has become such a problem. Like, think about it. Don Lemon and Joy Reid are now on independent media sources, and we're getting them unfiltered. They don't like that, because Don Lemon working at CNN could only say so much. Joy Reid working at MSNBC could only say so much. But now that they're on YouTube and Substack and all these other places, they're really telling the truth and they're trying their best to shut everybody down because they don't want the truth out.
Yeah, and they kept saying fake news, fake news, fake news. And that's part of getting into someone's head. You keep repeating the same things, you begin to believe those things. It's fake news. So I know that they're going into schools, even here where I live in the suburbs. These people were not letting ICE in the school. Just think about the trauma that it would bring on these children. And then a lot of people don't even pay attention to the news. They don't pay attention to why they're strolling on um Instagram, that things are coming and they're the ones that's going to be unprepared. And so everybody needs to get ready. I mean, if they do a blackout, because that's the first thing they're going to do is attack our grid. And a lot of people
Hmm.
will not be able to live without electricity. Imagine trying to cook for your kids and you're a suburban woman who don't know how to cook on a stove like me.
And what they're doing is they're playing into people's bigotry. Like, okay,
Yes.
that's why whenever something happens, because the trans issue is an issue that they're creating. I'm not saying that there are not trans people that exist in the world. I believe everybody should be able to exist. But to make it seem like every time there's an issue, oh, but trans people are going into the bathrooms. Is that really something is that the biggest problem that we have right now? It is more important that people still have health care. It's more important that people still can eat. Like, I'm going to tell you, I live in one of the most liberal places on the planet. And are there trans people existing here? Absolutely. But you don't see them every day, all day. They're not taking over. It's not this invasion of trans people. It's just somebody that happens to live their life in transition and they're doing what they want to do. What the
Hmm.
hell does that have to do with me? If I'm in a grocery store and I see a trans woman or a trans man, that doesn't stop me from getting my food. Mind your business. But they're creating a problem so that they can create a solution while at the same time taking away your freedoms. And then they blame it on you. We have to keep you safe. I've never been attacked by a trans person. They've never jumped on me.
Mm-mm.
But I
And
can tell you sometimes when you're around white men, it's scary as hell.
mhm. Um, 47 wants to take over DC and New York. Absolutely. He wants to go
Hmm.
in and control New York. Now, I'm going to tell you something. And in DC, when you go to Washington, DC, it's a very beautiful place. I have been there.
Hmm.
I have stayed in the city. I can walk 2 blocks over, baby. You in a hood. Two
Yeah.
blocks over. You're in a whole different world. Now, this is again, and I'm going to bring this up. Nipsey Hussle was trying to bring the Bloods and the Crips together. But they did not want that. They did not want unity, because what is coming, the YNs, they too dumb to help anybody in New York. It's every person for themselves. But we got to realize that if we don't come to a common ground, and there is a pecking order, there's God, man, and woman. But if you are a single woman, baby, you have to step and make some changes in shopping, getting your needs vice what you want. Oh, everybody wants to look good, but I'm guarantee if you go in that closet, you can start doing what you need. Start stocking up your canned foods. I need you to go in there and look at the dates of your canned food and start moving it around. You need to get matches. You need to get. Listen, I got the book. I done got all this stuff, but it is not all in one place. They're gonna want our yes, they did. Let me get this is cute. But also trans people have to use the bathrooms and let them potty in peace. They started with Roland Martin. Yes, they did.
Mhm.
Anybody that is strong, they are trying to right now discredit MLK and
Mhm.
Farrakhan. They've been trying to block Farrakhan from telling, but it seemed like he had the right message all the time. We so worry about what other people got that we not paying attention to what we got. You worrying about what you don't got and what they got. That is the problem in with Black Americans. We need to
Yeah.
start communicating with each other, and it is just crazy.
It's our divid it's us. Well, they have pitted us against each other, which is why colorism is such a problem.
Mhm.
Because what people forget, we as black women will say, oh, she's too dark, or she's too light, or she's too this, she's too that. But white people look at us all as niggas.
If you
So it
ain't right,
doesn't
you ain't
matter.
right.
Yeah, and they don't separate color. Just like now, when they said, okay, we're going to get the brown people, so they went after Hispanic people, they didn't bother to see if it's a Venezuelan, an El Salvadorian, an Ecuadorian, a Mexican. They don't care because it doesn't matter to them. So when they said, oh, we're going to deport 500,000 Haitians, you do know that that means us. They don't know when they look at a person, they don't know if that person is Black American. They don't know if that person is Nigerian, Haitian. They don't know. Haitians just look like regular old black folks. They
Mhm.
don't know the difference because we don't look any different. Honestly, Haitians just speak French. They look like us. We look like them. We're one and the same. So when they say that, now that's a literal attack on us. And because they've done so much to help us divide each other, it's easy to conquer people when they're fighting themselves.
And listen, look at what Miss Arnett said. Indiana passed a law making it illegal for undocumented children to go to school. Any school caught enrolling them will be fined. They are taking school lunches, school breakfast, food stamps. That's going to leave a lot of desperate people. But guess what? Not just blacks, whites as well. And
Hmm.
that's why I told y'all, you let me have to buy food or pay a credit card. I'm gonna get the food, and American Express can kiss my tail. Cause what can they do to me but make my credit bad? But guess what? We see the system collapsing anyway. They don't care about us, but we gotta start caring about us and start respecting us. Sometimes every now and then you gotta tap somebody and say, hey, let's get through this, get over this, because we got other bigger fish to fry. We do. We do. We can't just focus on this. Now, let me tell you what's happening with medical students. Medical students are being affected. Look at this. Wait a minute. Med students say big, beautiful bill students' loans cap means they won't be able to finish school, as experts predicted massive doctor shortage in 2037. These people are crying because they're in medical school. They cannot continue to pay. They can't pay to go to school. So, medical students, pre med hopefuls are rising. Alarms over one real life implication of Donald Trump. Big, beautiful bill, drastic cuts to the federal student loans. That means many prospective students can no longer afford to finish medical school. Trump signed a bill sweeping One Big Beautiful Bill Act on Friday, prompting outcry from students whose dreams of practicing medicine have been squashed overnight. Under the new law, students will see a lifetime cap of $200,000 on federal direct unsubsidized Stafford loans for professional schools. The bill also eliminates the Graduate Plus loan program, previously a critical tool that allows students to borrow enough to cover full tuition and living expenses. The American Medical Association argued against the legislation in a letter to the U.S. Senate. It went unheard, warning that the caps placed on loan options for graduate professionals. So now they're saying by 2037, the medical field projected to short by at least 187,000 full-time physicians, according to data from the U.S. Health Resources. We got to realize that they don't care about us. This is why I got this book, y'all. Right now, this book right here, this book is teaching me how to eat better, how to, because your eating, it helps with your blood pressure. It's what we eat is affecting our health. And we got to learn how to eat better. We got to learn that some vitamins are here. Wait a minute now. I got so many books under here. Hold on, under my desk.
What they're doing, unfortunately, and this is how they get people locked into stuff like this. They make it seem like these changes are going to happen so far away that they don't affect you today. But what we do today affects us tomorrow. The changes that he's making, can you imagine? First of all, let's be honest. Trump won't even be here in 2037. He is doing everything he can to ruin everything he can. That man is barely making it. He is barely making it, but he is setting it up that we will be in so much turmoil. He's making us the laughing stock of the world. Now you're taking away health care. You're also diminishing the capacity of the people that work in healthcare currently while stopping new children from coming in to be doctors. And you're only doing it because there are more brown children going into healthcare because we take care of ourselves. The disparities that happen with Black women and their child mortality rates. How many Black women go into a doctor's office and say they're in pain and get ignored? How many times have you said you needed something and your needs weren't met? He is setting it up to ruin us, forgetting that he's going to ruin white folks in the process too. And I don't think he cares. It's sick and it's sad. And there are people that are going into healthcare so that they can be better for the rest of us, so that they can care for us. My daughter is in school to get a healthcare position. Thankfully, she'll be done soon. So she won't be affected by this. But what about the young children that are growing up that want to see themselves as doctors, want to see themselves as lawyers? He's trying to get our children out in the fields,
Yeah.
trying to put us on farms and shit.
Do you know that food stamp cap used to be 18 years old? Now, if your child is 7 years old, you don't get the food stamps that you need. 7.
Because now they're trying to make it where a 7-year-old is considered an adult. And why is he doing that? Because eventually they want to put these children out in the field and they want to put these children in the number one in the workforce and number two in the military.
Yep.
Because these 24, 25-year-olds, they're not trying to go fight in the military. They don't want to do that. They're lazy. So now you're going to try to get, when he said the Medicaid cuts, most of the people on Medicaid are either disabled or children. That's who you're getting ready to cut off. And nobody seems to care because they're all beholden to this big orange fool.
Well, let me let y'all hear this from a Trump supporter. Oh.
400. My food stamps went from 4,400, 4,400
in food stamps every month to $38. What am I supposed to get with $38 with 6 kids? How the hell am I supposed to support my kids on $38 in food stamps? Not to mention our disability checks our Section 8 isn't getting paid enough. So I have to come up with $1,100. Okay? I am allergic to work. I can't work. I refuse to work. The whole reason I had kids was the amount of government benefits that you get for one child. And now, with the dependent age being 7 and younger, none of my kids are dependents now. None of them, because they're all older than 7. So how am I supposed to live? How do I feed my kids on $38? This is not okay. Not okay. My food stamps.
She voted for Trump. She voted for him because she thought that DEI meant just black people. How you like them now? How do you like them now? And let me tell you what the far right influencer, Laura Loomer, listen to this. This woman wants all death to Latinos living in the United States. How is this human Cujo allowed near the White House? She works in the White House. Let me tell y'all something. Trump is on that Epstein list. If there was no Epstein list, well, why is Epstein partner Giselle Maxill in prison? If there is no list, she shouldn't be there, right? Well,
And isn't it amazing how she's the only one in jail? Isn't
yep.
that amazing? But she was feeding, they were getting children and they were being funneled to other people. Who are those other people? Donald Trump was one of those people. He was always on Epstein Island. He was always traveling with that man. Remember when Donald Trump used to be on Lifestyles of the Rich and Famous?
Mm-hmm.
He used to be with him all the time. Now, all of a sudden, this man is deceased. Now, all of a sudden, there is no list. When literally 2 months ago, that young lady said, "Oh, the list is on my desk and I'm going to post it. I'm going to post it. I'm going to post it." And she didn't. No, that girl does satire. The one that said, "I'm allergic to work." She actually does satire because she thinks she's funny. So she over exaggerates things. She missing teeth. It's a whole situation with her. But she is a Trump supporter. And
Mm-hmm.
she does this whole thing and she's talking crazy to people and I don't want to work and I have all these children and you're supposed to help give me all my benefits and all this money to help take care of me and these children. Girl, go to hell. There are a
Mm-hmm.
lot of people that are on food stamps that don't act like that, that aren't like that. They're trying to
Right.
make it seem like everybody on food stamps is scamming the system. That's not the case.
Well, let me tell you something. As of now, Trump Doge have killed Georgia's internet for programs for black children. I want y'all to see this. Hold on. Trump's Doge kills Georgia internet access programs for black people. He don't want you to learn. He don't want you to
Hmm.
get there and learn anything. A program designed to expand the internet assets for rural and black communities in Georgia was killed amid funding cuts led by Trump's Department and Government Efficiencies. That is DOGE. The Digital Equality Capacity Program was a federal grant aimed at providing high-speed internet for rural areas for $22. Um, they're not going to give it to them this year. Like I said, there's going to be a lot of families that are not going to send their kids back to school.
And
Namely,
there's another piece to that. So in his bill, the way he has the bill written up for people that get food stamps, If you have internet service and you pay for internet service, they're now looking at internet as a luxury. If you have internet service, they're trying to cut you off of food stamps because they're going to say if you can afford Wi-Fi, you can afford food. That's another piece that he's written in. Also, they want people to, you know how you have to qualify for these programs, and they used to do a 1 year recertification process. Now he's changing it, so you're going to have to recertify every 6 months. So you're going to have to recertify for food stamps if you're on it every 6 months. You're going to have to recertify for disability payments. You're going to have recertify for Section 8. Any program that you're on, you're going to have to start recertifying twice a year, not once, because that way they're going to be able to go ahead and kick as many people off as possible. But Wi-Fi is now a luxury. It will no longer be that $22 program is eliminated that they just cut off. But if people still have it and they're on food stamps, if you have Wi-Fi, that is now a luxury based on this bill.
Yes. Now listen to this. New SNAP and Medicaid rules, okay? People age 19 through 64 must work 80 hours a month, volunteer, or meet educational requirements. Parents must meet work requirements if you have children 13 or older. If you have children 13 or older, you need to get your child out there to work. Kids age 14 to 18 must meet educational or work requirements. Where I don't, not here where I live at, you can't work at 14 years old. This does not affect disabled, elderly, or caregivers of disabled. Eligibility is determined every 6 months, like Shauna says, with the
Mhm.
proof of required education or um, employment. Section 8 is now limited to a 2 year cap for a lifetime unless you have a disabled child. So everybody who's living in Section 8, you get to use that for 2 years. How many people are going to be homeless? If you break down one system, it's not perfect, but it helps.
Mhm.
Um, yeah, this will curb school dropout. That means what are these kids gonna do? It ain't gonna be no walk around you buying weed and I'm trying to feed you, because we got so many kids that's living with their parents. And what are they gonna do? They listen. They're bringing up the Black Wall Street that was founded in 1908, and they bought this up. How long it took to destroy Black Wall Street, and they destroyed it in 1921. They destroyed 600 black businesses, 21 churches, 21 restaurants, um, 30 grocery stores, 2 movie theaters for black, 6 private airplanes owned by blacks, plus a hospital, bank, post office, law office, and even a bus system. Black Wall Street, they are saying, we remember, but they're trying to mimic what they did and make those numbers higher. Are we going to survive without violence? I can't say that we would go um, violent without being violent. It's going to cause a lot of violence. And no matter how much money you save, how much money you try to save, it is doomsday map. It also, listen, I need y'all to hear this, and this is real.
Farmland throughout. So this right here shows me that many of you guys are paying attention. Bill Gates. Bill Gates has bought up a lot of farmland throughout America.
Mhm.
But the interesting part is, where did Bill Gates buy these farmland? Well, if you research it and you compare that land that he has purchased to the map, and you know what map I'm speaking about.
Doomsday map.
When you
Google
compare it
it.
to the map,
Google it.
there are high places in America, meaning you have some parts of America that are below sea level, and you have some parts that will not be affected by anything. The interesting part is this: with storms that have supposedly, wink wink, dropped Niagara Falls within a matter of 4 minutes. Did you hear me? These areas that were flooded, wink, wink, they're saying that water is more water than what flows down the Niagara Falls in a matter of 4 minutes. That being said, guys, the map. You think all these billion-dollar companies, you think all these brand new highways, roads, buildings, houses being built in Texas is for no reason. There's also a lot of storage facilities. I wonder why. But this is just speculation. And it's educational
this
purposes.
right here shows me.
And I need y'all
Pattern recognition and critical thinking. When you're
go
good
to
at
the
it,
doomsday
it's both a
map.
blessing and a curse.
Y'all, as sure as your grandmothers told you, God is coming back here. We have to believe and feel that the predictions in the Bible are occurring. But while you're still here, you have to take care of yourselves. You have to do what you have to do. You can't waste money. You need to stock up your house. You need to be respectful. You need to start reading your word because the Bible will give you comfort. God never left, Saber says.
And what people also have to consider, we need each other.
Yeah.
As much as all this divisiveness, all this BS, all this fighting, all this unnecessary stuff, it keeps us divided. We are literally in a situation where it is us versus them.
Mm-hmm.
That's what he's putting us into. And unfortunately, let's have the conversation. Black women have been made to feed into it. We perpetuate some of this stuff ourselves because some of this unnecessary fighting and backbiting and lawsuits over bullshit and attacks on people's lives, attacks on people's children, attacks like you don't even know these people to have this much anger and this much animosity and telling lies on folks. Like, what the hell is all that for? When we have bigger enemies coming after us as a whole, so
Mm,
why the hell are we attacking each other?
correct.
And we don't have, and let me say this, what people don't understand is you don't have to like everybody. Everything ain't made for everybody. And
Mm,
I get it. There's certain things I like that other people aren't going to like and vice versa. But what I do understand is I can live and let live. If I don't like you, I just don't fool with you. That
right.
doesn't mean you don't have a right to live your life and do whatever you want to do. That just means I won't participate.
Mm-hmm.
But
I want
rather
every,
than that, we up here fighting nonsense. Stupid.
I want everybody to get up every day. And I don't care what's going on in your life. You can't sweat the small stuff. That's one thing. And that's why you see me dancing a lot, because if something in my business world is stressing me out, you know what I do? I I will get up and dance to get that off of my back. I will get up and do what I have to do to get that stress off and to do what I need. I'll be 60 next month, but I will be damned if I let business kill me, my children, or anybody. We have to start talking to each other because pretty soon the internet will be cut off and we won't be able to speak to each other. Enjoy your life. Enjoy your life as much as you can because I'm going to tell you, they're building camps for us. I
Hmm.
mean, seriously, for you and me. You might go to work every day and sit at a desk, but I'm going to tell you, once they clean phase one out, start getting the foreigners out of here, and they're keeping some of the foreigners, and I can guarantee you the people they're keeping in Alcatraz, alligator Alcatraz, are healthy Latinos, healthy Nigerians to work in these fields. And if they don't do well, then guess what? They're coming on. They're coming to the people that are healthy. So let me show you something. Inmates swarmed
by bugs the size of hands in alligator Alcatraz. Let me let you hear this. The makeshift Florida Everglades migrant detention facility known as Alligator Alcatraz is already facing horrible problems, reported the Miami Herald on Tuesday, with the detainees bearing the brunt of most of it. While the state says the stories detainees are sharing with the Herald are false, various scenarios described by three women in separate interviews are matching up. The women told the Herald that their husbands were unable to shower for several days after arriving. On Sunday, two women said their husbands complained that initially there was no water to flush the toilets. All three detainees told their wives that the bugs are getting inside. One of them saying that the grasshoppers are the size of a hand and springing into the tent, and that the biggest mosquitoes he had ever seen were flying over in their cells. Furthermore, detainees said that the facility has no clocks and the tents block out light, making it hard for those inside the cell to tell whether it is day or night. Um, and one Guatemalan detainee told his wife that the temperatures regulations were out of whack, with the air conditioner making it too cold to sleep at one point, but then breaking down and exposing them to sweltering hot temperatures. Florida state officials who run the facilities have disputed the migrants' claims, of course, insisting that the bugs and the environmental factors are minimized in the facility. Rest- are and their and facility restraints are only utilized during transport outside the detention center, and visitation arrangements can be made upon request. All plumbing systems are operational. State officials also claimed that it was fake news, that there has been a medical emergency on the premises after local tribal members near the facility reported seeing ambulances departing with its lights on. But Jennifer Guerrera of Florida confirmed a detainee had been transported by ambulance to Kendall Hospital in Miami for treatment. It is they're going to kill these people in there, and some of these people don't deserve to be in there. You go and pay your traffic ticket and you're detained. You go to the doctor, they're detaining people.
That woman said that that place can hold 65,000 people. That lady got on TV and said 65,000 alligators can have a good meal if we start now. They have every intention. You know what's so crazy now? They're saying the quiet part out loud. They are intending on ending the lives of, and you're calling these people illegal. Nobody's illegal. Nobody is illegal. Even if they don't have citizenship, that is a civil issue, not a criminal issue. These people are not criminals. And he said, oh, I'm going after the criminals. He knows exactly where the criminals are. Why? Because he's one of them. He is a criminal himself. People that are criminals know where other criminals are because you work with them, because you deal with them. All of a sudden now you want to allow some of these MS-13 people, you're starting to pardon them. But it's funny how when you sent that young man over there to that detention camp in the other country, when you sent him, you said he was a part of MS-13 and that he had it tattooed on his knuckles, which he did not. Now that he is back out here, the man's last name is Garcia. I cannot remember his entire name, but I know his last name is Garcia. Now that he's back and he's actually suing for the things that have happened to him, they're doing everything they can to try to keep that under wraps because he has a good lawsuit.
And they saying he is a gang member and a ex trafficker. Human trafficking has been going on since Adam and Eve, and that's how all your yes, it sure has been. And guess what? We're not even addressing that in court. Diddy is walking away with the most heinous crimes I ever seen in my life. Epstein walked away with heinous crimes. But remember, Epstein, they're saying, is dead, but Epstein has been in this place before where he was able to walk. Yet they are mad. about the J6 conditions when they were locked up. So I
And
miss.
that and you actually went into the Capitol building, pulled your pants down, and dropped a deuce on somebody's desk.
Hmm.
Like, what are we doing?
Yep. Now, Miss Nita says Second Chronicles 7:14 is a well-known verse that outlines a conditional promise for God to his people. It states that if God's people who are called by his name humble themselves, pray, seek his face, and turn from their wicked ways, then he will hear from heavens, forgive their sins, and heal their land. And I believe that. I believe 100% of that. If we pray and seek and turn from our wicked ways, that he will heal our land. There is a way, but guess what? They're going on a fast track to destroy America. I would hate for this to happen, but I really think it's going to be a flood in the area of Florida, Gator, Alcatraz, real bad. If I was blacks, I would get out of there. I mean, guess what? It had flooded. I have a home in Florida, in Margate, and it doesn't flood where I am, but it floods down in Miami, down that way, and Star Island. Their backyard is right up on a body of water, and so that means that water will come up. Right now in my neighborhood in Florida, there's alligators that come out the water and be in our pool. It is horrible, and I really want to sell the property because I'm never gonna go down there and live. Not with DeSantis. I don't want to live where he's at, and I'm telling you, this is not a war of all black and white. This is a war of rich and poor,
Yeah,
and
this is the haves
billionaires
and the
are buying up
have-nots.
everything. The billionaires are buying up every day, everything. And, it just made me put in my heart that I have so much in this house that I'm going to start giving stuff away that I don't use, I don't wear. I'm sure that there's families that can use it. I also want to bring to y'all attention, if you can, I am going to be giving a school giveaway August 9th. Um, I'm having I won't be able to show you the kids, but I can show you the setup that we're going to set up at our home, and I'm asking everybody to donate $5. When I spend the money, I will show you that I bought notebooks, pencils, erasers, water bottles. Um, I'm 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 trying to think of a food situation. I have already started talking to people to start filling up the food bank here in our area where we live to help the people where we live. We have had women who have got cases of water, canned foods. We're stocking up our food banks here. We're asking everybody to leave the food and stuff outside by your mailbox that we're able to. We filled up, and y'all know every year I go to the Department of Human Services and I fill up um, their food little bank, with noodles, because there's a lot of Hispanic families that come in there. They have noodles. They can make a whole meal with noodles, and olive oil, and they add a little stuff and just chicken. And we got to help one another. So we got to start loading up these places. And I really want to help families. So I want to help with school supplies, haircuts, and everything. I'm not telling you have to, but closer to the time, and I'll need you to put donation up there. Closer to the time, August 9th, I would let you know the end of this month, once I come off my little sabbatical, to donate $5 if you can. If you can donate more, do it. I will show you all the school supplies that I buy. And I usually do this with me and my husband every year. And y'all know every year we go to the cancer hospital where children are and we give them Christmas. That God has blessed us. So we would like to bless others. And I know that I am a giving person. But my husband said this time we can't just keep giving, giving, giving. We got to get help. And so I would
But
like y'all to share this video.
we really have to concern, they say take care of your fellow man. We have gotten so separate. We have gotten so angry. We have gotten so selfish. And it is time to be selfless. Give what you can, give where you can, give how you can. For me personally, there's a Hispanic man that comes and he always gets all the plastic bottles and stuff, but he has to go through the dumpster to get them. And I
Mhm.
throw away a lot of plastic bottles. I just made my own bag and I put them all together for him. Every plastic bottle, every water bottle I drink, every, I use the hand
Mhm.
soap and all those things. Every plastic bottle I get, I bag everything up for him so I can give them to him. You don't have to go digging for stuff. That's just my little way of trying to give back. We have to look out for each other because at the end of the day, we really are all we got. This government don't give a damn about us.
And if you can't give it to me, I would ask that y'all go to the Dollar General dollar store and buy some extra notebooks. And the schools need they need tissue for the winter months, sanitizer, stock up and take it to a school in your area that is not in the level of your living, but in a lower income area because those kids don't have. Like I buy extra white t-shirts. I buy packs of panties in case they soil themselves in school. The school has extra panties, and I get them all from the dollar store. And I can get a pack of 6 pairs of panties for $5. And that's why I'm asking you if you can get more to do that. I'm gonna have to get up off of here because I need lunch. I've been in meetings for 2 days and I'm hungry. Sabra said, Sabra, they call black folks animals, mass people refusing to ID themselves, dragging babies who have cancer to concentration camp in Florida. The colonizers used to keep people of color in zoos. Well, I'm praying
Um,
that that don't happen. We're gonna read Second Chronicles. Sabra, we're going to turn from our evil ways. We're gonna stop putting people down. We're going to start helping and getting ready for what's to come for us. That's all we can do. See, when I'm over here frying somebody's tail, I got more than 54 people over here. But y'all share my video. If you are not a subscriber, please like and subscribe. I don't ask for people to subscribe, but please like and subscribe. Let's go see Talking Shit with Shayna. Y'all please go support her, go support Tell the People. She keeps you abreast on everything. Saber, how the hell you know you live in New York, girl? I'm so y'all, I just ask y'all to just keep everybody in prayer. We gotta turn from our wicked ways, and you know what? Everybody's a sinner. So we have to ask for that forgiveness and that change. It doesn't happen overnight. So I really appreciate y'all. Thank you, Kim. And I will give y'all my Cash App close to that time, and I will post the receipt so that y'all can see. Purpose of the Multi Music Festival benefit concerts to help underprivileged families in our project housing, food, clothing, child. Yes, I do know you do that every year. Library cards, videos, and auto books are free. Library cards and what the hell you talking about? Let me get up off of here. I'm hungry. Thank you. You say
go
you were
go
doing it. Thank you, thank you, thank
go
you.
eat, Marcella. Everybody have a good day. Please be good to each other.
Yeah,
Follow me, subscribe, do all the wonderful things, and be nice to somebody today because
support
shit is weird out here.
support all your content creators, y'all. It's wonderful. Bye bye.
Bye.